In the middle of the night, someone called to say they'd seen an elderly woman playing on a swing with a child. The dispatcher thought it was a prank, but the person said they'd been swinging all night. When they arrived, the little girl was dead. The old lady kept placing the little girl on the swing, again and again. The girl was scared to death. Police arrived at midnight after the alarm was triggered. The girl on the swing kept swinging. The old lady pushed her from behind. But they didn't talk. All they could hear was the swing. Oh, the scene became strange. Ma'am, please stop and cooperate with the investigation. I spoke loudly, but the old lady didn't react. I walked over and grabbed the old lady's hand. My colleague stopped the swing and we saw the girl's face. Her skin was pale and her face was twisted. She looked scared. The girl's body was stiff and her skin was pale. It seemed she had stopped breathing. The old lady next to her seemed strange. She woke up and tried to break free from my grip. What are you doing? Why won't you let her play on the swing? Oh, then she muttered to herself. It was bright just a moment ago. How did it get dark so quickly? I wondered how it could have been bright just a moment ago. It was midnight now. When she saw the little girl on the ground, she panicked and rushed over, hugging her and calling out to, Gracie, are you asleep? Gracie, wake up. Seeing no response from the girl, she burst into tears. Oh God, how am I supposed to explain this to your father? My colleagues and I looked at each other. This person seemed to be the little girl's grandmother. Oh, this case was too bizarre, so we took her back to the police station. The dead girl was 10-year-old Grace Winton, the granddaughter of the elderly woman. The forensic scientist will confirm the cause of death. I asked the old lady to tell me what happened. She said, this evening I took my granddaughter to play on the swings. We had just started for a short while when you all arrived. At this point, she seemed very sad and shed tears. How could my granddaughter suddenly be gone? I watched her quietly. She didn't seem to be lying. Oh, but the short while she mentioned was actually nearly 6 hours. I thought the old lady in front of me might be mentally ill. I asked her to confirm. Your granddaughter has been on the swing for almost 6 hours. She looked astonished. What do you mean? We only played for half an hour. I thought the woman might have dementia. She forgot what time it was and kept taking her granddaughter to the swing. The girl realized something was wrong and wanted her grandmother to stop, but the grandmother didn't react. The girl was scared on the swing. Oh, the man who reported the case said he went downstairs after dinner at 6 and saw the elderly woman and the girl swinging. The girl was laughing, so she was still alive. When he came back at 7, they were still playing and he didn't think much of it. He saw them still swinging at midnight when he went downstairs to buy cigarettes. It was late at night and quiet. The area was sparsely populated. The scene became terrifying and he lost control. He was so frightened that he quickly went home and reported the incident. Oh, at this time, Grace Winton's father, James Winton, also arrived at the police station. He looked like a middle-aged man with red eyes, as if he had already cried. He opened his mouth, dazed. Officer, this is an accident. My mother won't be in trouble, will she? He took out a mental health certificate. The certificate showed that Grace Winton's grandmother had dementia. This was probably an accident. The only thing the old woman had to face was her granddaughter's death. James Winton said his daughter had a heart disease and couldn't handle too much. Oh, I asked. Why didn't you look for your mother and daughter when they didn't come back? He looked away and said, I was drinking with friends. I'm to blame for being greedy for alcohol. The report came out the next day. The report said Grace Winton died of a heart attack from shock. This was my theory, an accident. I sighed and said, what a tragedy for the family. Forensic scientist Adrian Wu disagreed. He said, it's not certain if it's heartbreaking. I asked him what he meant. He sighed and continued. Oh, the girl was malnourished. She was pale, thin and had dry hair. If they loved her, why was she malnourished? Adrian Wu took a sip of water and continued. My tests show the girl died between 5 and 7 yesterday afternoon. You said the informer first saw them around 6 p.m., but between 5 and 6 o'clock, their whereabouts are unclear. You mean the girl might have died between 5 and 6, and the swing wasn't the first crime scene? Adrian Wu nodded. But I quickly dismissed Adrian Wu's view. I apologized by patting him on the shoulder. Oh, your analysis is right, but I forgot to tell you one thing. The informant said at 6 p.m. that he heard the girl laughing, so she was still alive when she got on this. Adrian Wu laughed helplessly. I overthought it. The case was strange. The girl was scared to death on a swing,